we are back on Soch ttalk Train of Thoughts, the series of an episode with Dr. Sequeira COO of Head and Neck Cancer Institute of India. It's interesting insights to what we are getting from Dr. Sequeira. So welcome again to this ttalk platform.
Thank you.
Now, in fact, when we talk in terms of as an organization, people, they work in an organization. But I think, can you throw some more light in terms of smart work and a time management?
Of course. See, people definitely in today's scenario have to work very hard in organizations. I think over the last 1 decade, I have seen organizations really changing their work culture. Even the public sector or even the bureaucracy has changed in terms of outcomes, and so people have to work very hard. I really don't know whether there is something called a smart work, but I'll relate it to probably time, I would say smart work is where everybody knows to finish off their work on a particular time and nobody wastes their time. For that, the first most important thing is actually setting your priorities right. We should know exactly what is the work which needs to be given topmost priority, complete that work which is of high priority, and then move on to another. You won't believe this, sir, but each and every one of us wastes time, right? Like I told you in one of your earlier interviews that if I enjoy doing something, it's not a waste of time.
Yeah.
But that affects my work. So it's important for us to identify these time wasters that are there. And on a day when you're leisurely, there's not much of work, you can definitely waste that kind of time. But otherwise, you need to be very, very sensitive about this. It could be an overstretched lunch, it could be talking to people, etc. While you're talking to people, remember, it's very important to keep conversations to the minimum. आपको पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि आपका कॉन्वर्जेशन में टाइम कितना खत्म हो जाता है.
करेक्ट.
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में बहुत बार है ना सर, बॉस मीटिंग बुलाता है और वो मीटिंग गोज ऑन. वो 5 मिनट की मीटिंग 50 मिनट की होती है. सबऑर्डिनेट सामने बैठे रहते हैं, सोचते हैं कि ये कब छोड़ेगा हमको बॉस.
करेक्ट.
क्योंकि शाम को यही बॉस हमसे काम मांगेगा.
करेक्ट.
एंड that's why you need to keep conversations on a tough day, on a tight day when you're busy, to the minimum. Avoid meetings because they waste your time, it wastes everybody else's time. Keep meetings which are there very crisp. When you're entering a meeting, if you're calling a meeting, you should have the agenda, you should know who's going to speak how much, and if people are crossing and they're talking irrelevant, as the leader of the meeting, it's your duty to stop them.
Correct.
Otherwise, meetings are very, very big time wasters, without realizing it. Your data which you work with really helps you to save a lot of time and also helps you to work smart. Because this data, today we are talking of artificial intelligence, etc., helps you to take a lot of decisions.
Correct.
Gives you various outcomes in which paths you can follow. Even when you're sitting for meetings, it could be a sales meeting, you should have proper relevant data which will help you to actually bring the meeting to close very, very quickly.
Okay.
Data also plays a very, very important role in you avoiding large mistakes and avoiding rework.
Yeah.
And the most important thing, whether you're working smart or whether you're working hard or to manage your time, is to have a proper regime. Your personal regime is very important, sir. It's important that you get up on a particular time, you have a proper discipline, you go to sleep on a particular time, and your life, it may appear that your life falls into brackets like a patient with OCD, but people who follow a very strong disciplined life are normally not stressed because they have managed their time very effectively and efficiently.
Correct.
That's what.
I think it's a great insight. Again, when we talk in terms of you're working in an organization, we talk in terms of a smart work and time management. I think some of the pointers which are thrown by Dr. Sequeira in terms of you need to prioritize your work, and we also need to give a closer look at wasting the time and all. And the conversation, you need to keep it crisp and very clear. And data plays a very crucial role. and in terms of personal regime also. And many times I think within an organization we call out for a meeting with an agenda, and then the conversation goes on and on and on. To what extent we can ensure, like if it is required, have a meeting. If it is not required, I think it can be cut short and take a decision on those basis. So it's an excellent insight which is given in terms of a smart work and time management. I'm sure it's going to add in value to the organizations, to the ttalk audience for watching this ttalk show with Dr. Neil Sequeira. Catch up with our next episode with Dr. Neil Sequeira on